Hi everyone, Stepan here. I'm going to play another training game. Hopefully it's going to be better than all the games I've played so far, because I haven't been playing that well and I've been getting distracted. Okay, I have e4 in this one, so this time I will try not to talk about anything that's not chess related or anything that's not related to this game. Okay, knight f3. By the way, if you hear some noise, my dog is in the room with another dog and they're playing, so there could be some noise. Sorry, that's the only distraction. I wanted to apologize. Okay, we have the open Sicilian. I could play knight c3 and then allow the dragon and the Najdorf, but I'm going to stick to the prince. Since I'm trying to play chess and not play theory in this series, because I'm not playing my main repertoire, I'm going to be playing the openings I like the most and just get normal games. a6 is a mistake. White needs to play e5 straight away, punish the knight, and then either play bishop e6 or d5 straight away. a6 plays into the normal Najdorf, but I haven't committed my knight to c3 to defend e4 before playing knight c3. Instead I played f3. So now white has a Maroczy bind for free against a Scheveningen center, and he's probably going to have to play b6, bishop b7, either knight d7, knight e5, or knight d7, knight c5, and play a normal hedgehog structure. As soon as they play queen c7 here, players with white should keep their eyes open for knight d5 ideas. Knight d5 usually works when the knight is on c6, queen on c7, your rook on c1, and you play knight d5, pawn takes, and their c6 knight cannot move. And usually you would have to have your queen on d2, because otherwise knight d5, pawn takes, queen a5 check, move the king or block, and then they move the knight. So I'll play rook c1 first. Queen c7 is perhaps a bit premature. Okay, he does go in for that. So I will just play queen d2 to prepare knight d5. Often that can win games quickly. Why? Because you can... Okay. Oof. Okay, knight d5. If he doesn't take on d5... Here's why knight d5 is strong. If he doesn't take, I take on c6 and play bishop b6. Dominate the queen side. If he does take, so e takes d5, I play c takes d5. He has an isolated d6 pawn, his bishop on e7 is terrible, his c6 knight cannot move, so I win the piece back. So can I just go knight d5? I don't see a good response, so I'll just play knight d5. It doesn't win the game, but it seems crushing enough. So e takes, c takes, probably rook c8. Okay, d takes c6. I mean, it isolates the d pawn, or it isolates the a pawn, so I get a structural advantage. It's not that I'm delaying castling for too long, because his king is still on e8. And if he doesn't have knight h5, knight f4 ideas, then probably my king is really safe anyway. As you can see, it was important to play queen d2 first, otherwise queen a5 check would have been irritating. And after bishop d2 or b4, maybe I could have gotten away with it. But usually queen d2 is the way to make knight d5 work. So now he probably just plays rook c8. He will have to accept the structural disadvantage. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I don't play the Scheveningen Sicilian. So I don't know how to play with the center, and I don't know how to react to that. Okay. I just win that pawn, so I'm going to take with the king. So I'm going to take with the king and get my king close to the center. There's no need to castle in this one. And this also comfortably defends my rook. So this is just... on a high level, I'm not going to say I'm going to win, but on a high level this is completely winning. Extra pawn, 2 isolated pawns, beautiful bishop pair, better king, a6 weak. The bishop on e7 attacked. Now bishop pair, extra pawn, no weaknesses against 2 weaknesses. This is just game over. Now even I can win this easily. He just gave up another pawn. Yeah, okay, my opponent didn't know the Prins Sicilian, so he went for a6. He's obviously an Idorf player. He went for a6 anyway, and that just doesn't work. I mean, you have to know how to face f3 if you play the main line Idorf and the dragon. If you are an Idorf or dragon player, I've made the video on the Prins Sicilian. It's not hard to learn the opening with either side. It's very exciting if you know the main lines. I don't know how to defend. I can play b3, I can play bishop d4. I like b3. And... oh, why did I just do that? Why did I just play the only bad move on the board? Oh, okay. No, okay, I have a check. I know why I played it. Okay, no, it's fine. Oh, I thought to myself, oh, I shouldn't play b3 because I lose, but I have bishop b5 and a4. It's okay. I actually saw this and then I forgot. Okay, so I'm getting distracted because I thought I won. By the way, those of you who said I'm overconfident in my position, you are completely right. I'm arrogant when it comes to my chess positions. I'm obnoxious. I'm overconfident. And I shouldn't be that way. I lose games because of that. I blunder because of that. I lose focus because of that. And I'm going to do my best to stop doing that. That's not good for my chess or for the videos. And it's completely not true what I say. I get excited either when I blunder and I say I'm much worse, or when I do something good, or I think the position is good and I said, oh, it's winning, or that's... I'm sorry about that, and I think I just do that because of a dopamine rush while playing chess. That's not what I would say is true. It's just what happens when I play chess, and I'm sorry about that. And now I'm going to say this position is winning. But that's I think this is objectively winning. Bishop pair and 2 passed pawns on the queen side. Another thing, why do I have a Norwegian flag in the back? Somebody asked. My best friend lives in Norway. He's there on a PhD. And when he came to Croatia last time, he brought 100 Norwegian flags. I don't know why, but so I have one. I actually have 10. I just don't know where they are. Where they are. About the scratching of the mouse, someone asked yesterday. Also, yeah, I have a really bad plastic cheap mouse, and I don't have a mouse pad, so I usually put some books under it. I'll try to fix that. Okay, now I'll try to focus and finish this game. Okay, from a strategic perspective, I don't want to give up my light squared bishop for his knight, because my b3 pawn is going to be really hard to defend. From an endgame and strategic perspective, I don't want to trade my dark squared bishop for his knight, because we are going to get opposite colored bishops, which are probably going to be fairly drawn. So I'm thinking about playing bishop d2 or bishop c1. Bishop d2 prevents a check on f4 and on c3. And if he plays knight c3 check, I'll just play king f2. If he trades on d2 with the bishop, then I would be very happy. I could also just continue king d3, but that doesn't make much sense. I could also take the knight, play rook d1 check, and then he would have to play king d6 to keep his pawns. And then I would be able to defend with rook d3. So it may not be a stupid idea to give up my light squared bishop. I can defend with my rook. Even though his bishop is blockading my pawns. So bishop takes d5, king takes d5, rook d1 check. He has to play king e6, excuse me. Otherwise I play rook d7. So king e6, and I simply continue rook d3 to defend everything. Keep my queenside pawns put and push my kingside pawn majority. So I'm going to do that. That seems to be the cleanest way to play this position. I didn't want to give up my bishop pair, but I desperately didn't want to get into an opposite color bishop endgame where he has a dark squared bishop, because this bishop is blockading my entire queenside, completely nullifying it. Why didn't he take yet? What's wrong? I mean, he's either disconnected or isn't playing anymore. There are no other moves he has to take. Yeah, okay. Where was I? So yeah, someone asked me about the rating goal, so I already mentioned that. I'm gonna try to get to 2300, which I've done before on my training account. So I'm going to set that as a goal and see how it goes. I mean, goals have to be measurable and they have to be in a specific time period. So I should be able to, I should set an end goal. So I'm just going to say until the end of the year, because I'm not sure how many training games I'll be able to play. As I said, I'll try to play one per day, but some days I may not manage. Also, if chess comes back, then... if chess comes back, then I won't be playing training games at all. Lucia is here, so I'm smiling at her. She says, I have a beautiful t-shirt. My t-shirt is disgusting and I know that, but it's not mine. So here's the thing. There are t-shirts which are... She's laughing at me. It's not my t-shirt. So, there... Okay, he's playing. I'll just finish the t-shirt, sorry. There are t-shirts which have words and numbers on them that don't mean anything, which are randomly generated. This one says... Gazzoni 1974... What Gazzoloni? Okay. 1974 Motor Club. Okay. So I'll get back to the game. Rook d1. He has to play king e6. Okay, he can also play king c6, but that gets his king away from the king side. Okay, now I'll just stick to my plan. I will get my pieces slowly into the game. I know that rook d3 is not a move a grandmaster or an engine would play, but it's just a setup I want to achieve. His king is blocked, his rook is not attacking my b-pawn, my king is unpinned, and I slowly push my king side pawns. That's what I want to do. If he allows a bishop trade, I would be delighted to do that, then it probably would be easier to win. If he doesn't allow a bishop trade, then I will get my bishop to c3 and activate it, and I will have a better bishop than him. He could repeat though. Yeah, bishop, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll just go back. He can just repeat moves. Okay, so back to my plan. Pushing my pawns. I want to see what he does, because to be honest, I don't see what he does. And I don't want to rush with my pawns. I'll just get my king to f3 slowly. He's trying to set up a blockade, but I don't think that's possible with my king on a light square. Now when I play bishop d2, he cannot avoid the trade or the concession of the c3 square. Okay, now my pieces are good. My king is good, my rook is good, my bishop is good. My bishop will get to e5 and it will control the board. I may just toss in b4 first. Good, my position is good. This t-shirt is horrible. How do I defend? So if I play rook d2, he plays rook e3. So I'll just play h3, which is the most flexible. Okay, now it's time to start pushing. His bishop is very close to being trapped, by the way. Doesn't this just win the bishop? What does he do after king g2? Ah, he can play bishop. He can play bishop e3. Okay, so I could play g4 undermining the rook, in which case bishop h2 is irritating and it's attacking the f4 pawn, so I don't want to do that. If I play king g2, he plays bishop e3, and And then I just offer a trade, I think, but it doesn't work. And if I play bishop d2 first, then he can play bishop d4. I don't want to just keep pushing my pawns. That doesn't seem good. Oh, what am I talking about? He actually has the b6 square and the a7 square. I'm being stupid again. His bishop can run away easily. I just, for some reason, I thought the queen side was unavailable. I like the idea of g4. I don't think there's any other easy way to make progress. So g4. He doesn't have to react though. Let's see about the pawn trade. So bishop d2 with the idea of bishop e3. Bishop takes, rook takes b4. Rook. Okay, so you asked for arrows, so I'm going to use them on this one. So here, and I don't know what he does, but my plan is to play bishop e3. He takes with the bishop, I take with the rook. He takes my pawn on b4, I check him on e6. He moves up the board, I take on g6, he takes with the rook on a4. I play rook g5, win one of the pawns. He checks me, I have to go back. He checks me again, I have to go here. He checks me again, my g3 pawn is defended. So I'm going to do that. I think I need to provoke a bishop trade to make progress, and a pawn trade cannot be bad. For me, before I do that, I could save one of my pawns by playing a5. Also, well, let's see. If I do that, he will have to trade. Bishop e3 takes, rook b4, rook e6 check, king c5, rook g6, rook a4, rook g5, rook a3 check, king e2. Yeah, I think that's a draw. I think that should be a draw. So I'm not going to do that. But now that my bishop defends the e3 square, I can actually play rook b3 and start pushing my pawns. Okay, so I'm going to try to make progress like that. My bishop defends e3, my bishop defends e1, my king defends e2. I have two queenside pawns. I shouldn't be talking rubbish about trades. I need to start pushing my pawns. The reason why I think rook b3 is good is after b5 check, king b6, I have a5 check, my bishop defends a5, and then my pawn can just keep rolling forward. Okay, I'm going to move my a pawn first so that he cannot set up a blockade. Now still, if king a6, I play b5 check. I was too afraid of his pieces, but his pieces are doing nothing. I still think he should have played king e6 there instead of king c6. Although then his king would have been cut off on a different side of the board. Okay, so he wants to play rook a4. I see that. So I'm just going to keep going with my plan. b5, rook a4, a6 check, king a7, bishop e3, and king a8 I play b6. Since I have a dark squared bishop, my b pawn is much more likely to queen than my a pawn. Okay, check. I don't see a way out of this for him. Yeah, what was I thinking? Trading bishops and rooks and playing passively? I should still focus. So b6, rook a4, a7 check, king b7, so I cannot allow a light squared blockade on king b7. That's the only thing I shouldn't allow. So I still need to be a bit careful. I could force a rook trade now with rook e3, which doesn't seem like a bad idea. Rook e3, what does he do? I'll just force a rook trade. Seems simpler than calculating all of that. I'm getting a bit low on time, so I don't want to allow him to set up a blockade. I will just trade pieces and be done with it. Once we trade rooks, it's going to be a simple win. Okay. This makes things easier. Now just rook e8 check and queen. He has to play rook d8. Okay, he resigns. I'm happy with this game. I mean, it wasn't hard playing the middle game 2 pawns up, but he didn't know the Prins Sicilian. So I'll just show you quickly what he has to do. Again, the analysis of this will be available on Thursday. So after f3, e5 and knight b3, and now he can play either d5 or bishop e6. And this is what sort of equalizes the position for black. d5 is the best move, and after bishop g5, d4, c3 is theory, and position goes on from here. As soon as he plays a6, this is a wasted move, because you get a Scheveningen and a tempo down. There's no need for that. Okay, the series continues tomorrow. Hope you like the game. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.